Hoy dedicaremos nuestro segmento de entrevistas a un segundo balance de la Conferencia de Ideas Alltech One, donde expositores de alto nivel ofrecieron importantes conferencias planteando la gran idea que en efecto puede cambiar el rumbo del mundo, tal como lo argumenta el presidente de la multinacional Pierce Lyons.
Esta edición número 32 de la Conferencia de Ideas de Alltech ha dejado ver la impactante evolución de One como una referencia de orden global.
So I've been lucky enough to work for Alltech for 26 years, so this is my 26th symposium. The first one I came to, there was only 300 people at that event. So over the last 26 years, we've seen an evolution on several different fronts. Number one, the number of countries. This year we've got 71 countries. We have 3,000 people. The number of species, historically when it first started, it would have focused very much on the terrestrial species, cows, chickens, pigs. Today we see sessions on things like risk management, aquaculture, pets, beer, the list goes on. It also has a much bigger focus on business, whereas historically it was very technically orientated, and there still are technical sessions. Today we would see a lot of business people coming.
El abordaje de temas tecnológicos aplicados al campo y las insospechadas ventajas que puede traer a la actividad agrícola fue sin duda uno de los principales temas de los distintos simposios que formaron parte de la agenda de One este 2016. Así lo confirmaron ponentes de reconocida experticia.
In fact, that there is a gap between what happens on the farm in agricultural systems and the technology that's being developed today. So what we would like to do is bridge that gap and come up with ideas for changing our educational processes so that the future leaders of agriculture will in fact have the hands-on experience needed to take technology to the farm and apply it in a practical situation.
So one of the reasons that's important for agriculture is it enables you to make decisions based on data rather than making decisions based on what you think might be a good idea. Cameras are able to see more and see things more accurately than we're
DHA helps with fertility.
So the one big idea is to start looking for new technologies, stop relying on our parents' generation, our grandparents' generation, and start looking for sciences using today's. A good example of that is Costa Rica. We have a serious problem with black sagatoga in bananas across a lot of Central America and other parts of the world. That is a disease that can absolutely be slowed down or stopped by the use of microbes. We have been able to identify new bacterial strains, new fungal strains of organisms that are capable of either outcompeting or suppressing the growth of black sagatoga. Now, we don't have products that are commercially on the market right now, but they will be tomorrow. The fact is that it takes 2,000 years to create just 10 centimeters of topsoil. And so if we lose it, it's gone, and we have to start from the beginning again. So first of all, we need to conserve, and second of all, we need to look at what is in the soil, look at what unique technologies we could get out of the soil so that we can we can use that to boost plant growth and suppress diseases and ultimately create profitability and health for populations. I think, yes, we have a very big problem. We have a lot of challenges, but we can overcome them with modern science.
So the one idea or the one topic from my presentation this week on the One was focusing on a pesticide program where we incorporate natural technologies into a overall management program for farmers to use. My one idea is one day to not be as reliant on synthetic chemistries, whether that's fertilizers or pesticides, and to be able to adopt different strategies in order to promote sustainability as well as environmental stewardship. Microbial inoculants are a big one, trichodermas, bacillus subtilis. So these are safe bacteria and fungi that are being incorporated into programs. So that's one. Plant extracts is another. Plant extracts from the standpoint of if you incorporate some of the plant extracts that we utilize with Alltech Crop Science, you see an increase in absorption, whether that is a chemical or whether that is a natural deterrent. We are looking at what different bacteria and what I say toxins, I don't mean them toxins, but what they're producing in order to compete against the fungi. So the extracts from the microbial process, we're looking at isolating those and incorporating those into programs as well. So you have a safe bug, we call them bugs, that's just for short, but you have a safe bug. That safe bug produces a toxin to kill the pathogenic fungi, and we're looking at some of those as well in our R&D department.
One también evidenció la coincidencia en la opinión de los expertos sobre los cambios que experimenta la industria de los alimentos en términos de productores, comercializadores, marcas y consumidores a nivel mundial. La explicación tendría múltiples razones.
One is because of the new communication channels, the fact that consumers today can get their information from the internet rather than from TV or from, the commercials, the TV advertisements that the manufacturers pay for. But it's also changing because the consumers themselves, and particularly the younger consumers here, they're caring a lot more about the food that they're buying. And they prefer to buy from smaller companies that have values that match their own personal values as a consumer. So maybe they care about knowing the farmer, or they care about the impact that food manufacturer has had on the environment.
So what does this mean for farmers? Well, a lot of farmers are used to just meeting the demands and the enforced rules of retailers like a Carrefour or a Tesco and these big global supermarket corporations. Well, there have been a lot of farmers, big and small, who have diversified and created a dream towards mission-driven agriculture. And what I mean by mission-driven agriculture is really a conviction or a belief in sustainability, in reducing pesticide use, in conserving water, in reforming labor practices. It can mean lots and lots of different things.
We perceive brands, hopefully such as Alltech, but other brands, we perceive them in the exact same way as we perceive people. So we're making a judgment on a brand or on a farm based on whether we find it to be warm and whether we find it to be competent.
A través de One también pudo comprobarse que uno de los retos principales que vemos en la agricultura moderna en todo el mundo es disminuir el uso de antibióticos en la producción animal. El concepto desarrollado por Alltech en este sentido va hacia buscar productos orgánicos que, agregados a la dieta de los animales, ayuden a combatir enfermedades que disminuyen la producción.
And our method of controlling it, in other words, using an antibiotic, is to kill off organisms. Well, we've discovered very quickly that that doesn't work very well because these bacteria develop mechanisms of resistance to our killing process. So instead of killing, what we've got to look at is change the thinking completely and nurture the organisms that we do want so that they can outcompete the organisms that we don't want. And this is a very difficult concept for people to grasp, because everything we focused on is trying to eliminate what we don't want. We do it in a war situation. We do it in an animal production situation. We do it in human health situation. And changing the paradigm and moving towards a situation where we nurture what we want and allow them then to displace the good, to displace the bad, and thereby eliminate the problem is a difficult concept, only because we've been taught that from the beginning of life.
Thanks for being with us. Lots of fun. Great win. See you next year.